Hey, welcome to That One Time, the place for unforgettable moments and stories worth sharing. Funny, touching, surprising, just like life itself. Grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Kate froze, her gaze tracing the bizarre curves of the wallpaper pattern. The measured beat of the wall clock counted the moments of a life that rushed forward, merciless and relentless. A life that cared nothing for the opinions of such tiny pawns as Kate Simmons, a 40-year-old woman whose world was confined within the walls of her home. This life roared with the hum of cars on the wide highway, rustled with the lush foliage of trees, rang with the clear voices of children in the yard, howled mournfully with the neighbor's dog, and clattered with dishes from apartment 104. But inside Kate, a silent emptiness reigned. No thoughts, no feelings. It seemed even her blood had frozen in her veins. "Mom, are you okay?" Her daughter Lara's voice broke the silence. Kate flinched as if struck. "Oh, Lara, is that you? I didn't hear you come in." "Yes, just now. You were at the hospital?" Lara's voice trembled. "And? What's the news?" Anxiety pierced her question. Kate looked away. Dr. Michael Peterson said, "There's no more point in hoping. The metastases have started growing rapidly. Dad is unlikely to regain consciousness, unless to suffer from pain. I don't know, sweetheart, what we should do. He hinted today about turning off the machines." "So, it turns out, there's no chance at all?" Tears welled up in Lara's eyes. "But that can't be, Mom. Nowadays, medicine performs miracles. People are literally pulled back from the brink." "Lara, dear," Kate pulled her daughter close, hugging her tightly. "The doctors say there won't be a miracle. When they turn him off, he might wake up, but I'm so afraid of that hellish pain. Nobody knows how long he can endure. The medications don't help anymore, not even the strongest ones." "Mom, why is it like this?" Lara sobbed. "Why Dad? He was always so strong, healthy, he exercised, never smoked. It can't be that cancer attacks suddenly and wipes out a person in a couple of months, and everywhere they write, that cancer is treatable now. Why isn't it like that for us?" "I don't know, dear. I never thought I'd have to go through something like this. When Vic first saw doctors, it didn't look so bad. The prognoses were encouraging. And then everything started developing so fast, nobody expected it. And the therapy, organ after organ started failing. I can't explain anything to you because even the doctors are at a loss. They did everything possible. And Dad, he fought so hard, it's as if someone cursed us." "You can't say that," Lara stiffened. "Do you believe in that?" "I don't know what to believe anymore. I even thought about going to see a psychic. Mom keeps urging me. She found some man, says he can, and I'll tell you a secret. I've already arranged a meeting." "Are you serious, Mom? I understand you're desperate, but that's a scam." "Honey, I'm clutching at any straw." "Don't even think about going to him. He'll just take your money. You're smart, you know how they profit from grief." "I'll just go, sweetheart. If I sense a trick, I'll just leave." "But Grandma, she's completely, well, she's fine. It's forgivable for her. But you're an engineer. With a higher technical education, how can you even consider such a thing?" "We don't know a lot about life, Lara dear. For example, you're only 11, but you reason like an adult. Why is that?" "Well, that's thanks to you and Dad. You taught me from childhood. And kids grow up fast now. No mysticism, but charlatans? That's stupid. Maybe it's better to look for other doctors. What if ours are just not the right ones?" Lara looked at her seriously. "Sweetheart, Vic is in the best clinic. World-class specialists. There's hardly anyone more competent." "Exactly. That's a sensible thought. I don't understand if you realize that. How did you even give in to Grandma's persuasion and decide to go see a sorcerer?" "All right, let's change the subject. It's hard for me to talk about this." "Okay, but promise you won't pay him." "I promise," Kate smiled weakly. "Listen, I didn't cook anything today. Maybe we should order something? Mom, we're not great with money right now. Let me make something myself, Lara smiled. You should rest. Yes, my dear, Kate hugged her daughter tightly. Just don't overdo it. I have no appetite at all. By the way, there were dumplings in the freezer. You could boil those. Dumplings will kill our stomachs. We ate them yesterday. What? Perfectly healthy food. Dough and meat. That's when you make them yourself, Lara retorted. With store-bought ones, you don't know what's in them. No way, I'll make something proper. I'll fry potatoes. We have chicken. All right, sweetheart. Go on, I'll lie down. Kate lay on the sofa. She felt ashamed that her daughter was busy, but also happy that Lara was growing up so independent, so sensitive. The next morning, without telling her daughter, Kate went to the meeting. She told work she'd be late, citing a visit to her husband in the hospital. Her colleagues, who had always loved Kate for her kindness and openness, sincerely sympathized with her grief, and it pained them to see her suffering. Contrary to expectations, the sorcerer didn't live in an abandoned house, but in a perfectly ordinary apartment in a standard building. Kate dialed the intercom number, and almost immediately, an inviting buzz sounded. The elevator took her to the 8th floor. On the landing, a man of indeterminate age in a coffee-colored tracksuit was waiting. He looked quite attractive, and nothing like the mage of Kate's imagination, wrapped in black cloaks. Hello, Catherine, the man smiled pleasantly. My name is Ethan. Please come in. He let her in. A spacious, bright apartment. No bunches of herbs, no chicken feet in jars. An ordinary, modern, cozy home. I see your surprise, Ethan smiled. Were you expecting to see a medieval alchemist's dwelling? To be honest, yes, Kate smiled sheepishly. I'll tell you right away, I'm skeptical. I'm a civil engineer. I don't believe much in all this. And you don't need to believe here. To each their own. Higher powers have granted me a gift to see what is hidden from many. You, the talent to design, which I cannot do. Logical? So, you won't be looking into a crystal ball? God forbid, my dear. That's for charlatans. I work with energy, not sorcery. You believe in energy, don't you? Energy? Kate frowned. Well, yes, electromagnetism, kinetic, potential. The laws of physics are known. Exactly. But modern physics has only lifted the veil on what exists in the universe. Energy is not limited to known types. For example, what, in your opinion, is a soul? A soul? Kate pondered. Well, they say it's what makes us human. They say correctly, but what do you yourself think? Not in a religious sense. A soul, some kind of driving force hidden within, Kate began. Ah, I see. A soul is also energy? How else? We don't see it, but we feel it, like other energy. And our thoughts are energy. The body is subject to physics, chemistry, biology, but at the root of everything is energy. Have you heard of the aura, the energy shell? Everyone has one. Research records the biofield, even controls it. I am among those who can control it. I've been practicing for over 30 years. Once I was as skeptical as you, believing only in physics. I worked at a nuclear power plant. And after 40, something happened that turned my world upside down. Forgive my immodesty, Kate interrupted. How old are you? 75. Ethan smiled. That can't be, Kate gasped. You look 40. Yes, I know. I fixed myself in this form when it happened. I was 43, an accident at the reactor. There was no chance to fix it. No one wanted another Chernobyl. My memory compressed everything in a couple of seconds, and suddenly I did something I still can't explain, even less so back then. What? Kate froze. I imagined the explosion, the consequences, played it like a movie, and then, in reverse, rewound to the moment of the mistake. An inexperienced supervisor, night shift. He fell asleep, missed the overheating, and I rewound. I found myself at the moment when the guy had just closed his eyes. I don't know how I figured it out, but I understood. Everything depended on me now. I ran to the control room. He was dozing. The instruments were off the charts. I shook him awake. We reacted quickly, called who we needed, prevented the catastrophe. So you time traveled? No, that's impossible. Something else happened. It was as if I fell into a prolonged déjà vu. I foresaw all the events, and it happened when I fell asleep. It was a difficult day. I violated instructions. If I had slept, catastrophe. But I fell asleep, and at that moment I had a vision, thanks to which I saved everyone. It sounds incredible, I know. There's no information about it, because nothing happened. But since then, I started looking for an explanation. Strange things began. I started seeing ahead, not just in dreams, like sudden shifts in consciousness. I was afraid. Then I found a person who explained it. To burden you with details, you wouldn't believe it. Since then, I've dedicated my life to this. I lived in India, mastered practices. My physics education hindered me, and then I started connecting things. Now I can look into the future and the past. I'm not a wizard, I can't influence everything. But I can help. The main thing I understood, the universe is subject to the laws of energy. If you tune into the right frequency, much opens up. I'm not omniscient. I'm like a transmitter. I catch signals from the info field and broadcast. Let's say I believe you, Kate frowned skeptically. Although this is beyond my comprehension. My mother recommended you. I'm having a very hard time. I don't know what to do, what to expect. Tell me. Don't be afraid, it will stay between us. If I can help, I will. Kate hesitated. Only money. Ethan smiled sadly, nodding. My daughter, let me come on the condition that I wouldn't pay. There are many fraudsters, and we are in a very difficult situation right now. Catherine. Ethan placed his hand on her shoulder. Kate felt a sense of relief. I don't take money. Payment is your decision. The gift given to me belongs to everyone. If I took money, I'd live in a mansion, not this 2-room apartment. Perhaps it's unwise, but I decided, and I won't change. But how do you live? How do you earn money? I write term papers for students, Ethan laughed. A decent income. Gotta justify the education. Well, Kate said slowly. All right, let's try. 6 months ago, Vic, my husband, suddenly felt unwell. Sharply. I was home, he lost consciousness, felt dizzy. He's young, always healthy. Imagine how scared I was. Ambulance, he was unconscious. At the hospital, liver cancer. And he doesn't drink, nothing like that. In the early stages, they don't detect it. Everything was fine, the doctors took over, the tests were encouraging, they promised it was treatable. Almost 6 months. He was recovering. But suddenly, it got much worse. Urgently. After the examination, metastases, all organs affected. Neither chemo nor radiation helped. Now he's almost unconscious, on painkillers, in an induced coma, on a ventilator. I don't understand anything. I only see my beloved husband, but I can't. We have a daughter, Lara. She adores him. It's harder for her. I can't imagine what will happen if he's gone. So, official medicine doesn't understand the reasons for such rapid progression? Ethan frowned. Show me a photo. Kate opened a photo on her phone, handed it over. Ethan looked at it for a long time, closed his eyes. Several minutes of silence. Kate didn't dare to breathe. The man was in a trance. He opened his eyes, exhaled loudly. Kate realized he hadn't been breathing. 10 minutes passed. Well? She asked impatiently. I'll tell you right away, hoping to save Victor won't work, but, Kate perked up. There's nothing to be done here. Your husband was subjected to external influence. It caused the illness. When he was recovering, the influence was repeated, stronger, and the illness progressed rapidly. What do you mean? Kate's eyes widened. What influence? A hex? A curse? Many call it that. I prefer influence. But who? Who could have? Vic got along with everyone, he had no enemies. I will describe. Ethan nodded. Two people. A woman around 40, ash blonde, full-figured, not tall. Long bright nails, many rings, glasses, thinks only about money. Went through a divorce because of it, but hasn't settled down. In his closest circle. Exerted physical influence through liquid. The second, a young man. Brown-haired, thin, stoops. A scar near his lip. Very pliable, easily led. Under the woman's influence, also close to Victor. Practices rituals. Powerful negative energy. Roughly speaking, the woman is using him to destroy Victor. The most terrible thing, most likely, they are relatives. Yes, Kate turned pale. You described Vic's older sister, Helen, and his stepbrother, Chad. My God, how did you see that? Is it true? Why? Why would they ruin their own brother? Greed? Vic always helped, especially Helen after her divorce. She was left with nothing. Helen looks pleasant, but she can't be like that. He essentially supported her. And Chad? He adored Vic. Chad is under Helen's influence. She's brainwashing him. I see it in his mind, like a film. He doesn't understand why he's doing it. If you had come earlier, it could have been removed. Now... Maybe we can try? Kate whispered. She believed Ethan. I can do a cleansing. It will ease his suffering, give him weeks. The influence is strong at this stage. It can't be removed. One thing is the soul, energy. Another is a body that is almost destroyed. I agree. I want Vic to wake up, to suffer less. I can't let go without saying goodbye. All right, Ethan nodded. I'll do everything possible, but be prepared for the worst. I don't see a favorable outcome. What do you need from me? Direct contact with my husband. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible today. I'll introduce you as a relative. It's a single ward, no one will interfere. We can go now. There's little time. Yes, of course, I'll change. Ethan left, leaving Kate alone. Her mind reeled. Why? She fumed. Vic was everything to them. What good does his death do them? I always suspected Helen. But not like this. And they smile, asking for help. Are these people? Relatives? After their parents died, Vic and Chad, university. Their stepmother wouldn't let them see each other. And when everything fell apart for her, she came running. I don't understand. Why didn't Mom say something earlier? Although, I would have ridiculed her. God, give me strength. All right, I'm ready. Ethan returned. In a summer suit, presentable. Will the doctors accept me as a sorcerer, or will they put us together? No, Kate replied. Don't worry. When I come, nobody enters, they don't interfere. Excellent, the psychic nodded. Let's go. The bright July sun filtered through the blinds. Kate looked at her husband, entangled in tubes, and shuddered. The man she had lived with for years. Instead of a living face, a pale gray one with huge circles under his eyelids. Victor was emaciated, his cheekbones covered with thin skin. Kate carefully took his hand. His fingers were dry, cool, as if no life remained. Ethan stood discreetly by the entrance, hesitant to intrude. In his hands, a small leather bag. Ethan, come here, Kate called. He sat down. Here. He's been in this state for almost a month. May I? Ethan looked questioningly. Kate nodded. Ethan carefully took Victor's hand. He sat with his eyes closed for a couple of minutes, then stood up abruptly, reached for his bag. He took out a small bag of salt and a black candle. Now I'll ask you to step out, Catherine. No one should be here. If anyone tries to enter within 15 minutes, distract them. I'll take an energy sample onto this salt using the candle. I'll do the main work at home, but I can't do it without contact. Understood. Kate nodded and slipped out. Kate sat on the small sofa in the corridor. There was no staff around. The minutes dragged on. Suddenly, a nurse darted around the corner towards Victor's ward. Kate became anxious. Oh, you can't go in there, she squeaked, blocking the way. Why not? The nurse asked, startled, fiddling with an IV bag. I need to administer medication. It's time. You see, Kate hesitated. There. His uncle from Vladivostok arrived, specifically by train. They haven't seen each other in 10 years, so he came to say goodbye. Even I came out, left them alone. I don't want to disturb them. His uncle is very worried. They used to be close. Just 10 minutes. He'll be out soon. 10 minutes? The nurse looked at her watch. All right, just don't tell Dr. Michael Peterson. He'll scold me. There's a little time. Let your uncle stay. I'll be back in exactly 10 minutes. Okay? Okay, Kate nodded vigorously. When the nurse entered the neighboring ward, Kate exhaled. The last thing she needed was for them to see the wife bringing sorcerers into the hospital. Ethan peeked out. Catherine, I'm finished. I'll continue at home. Thank you, Kate smiled weakly. At that moment, the nurse reappeared. Well, did Uncle have his chat? She winked. Now let me. Ethan and Kate left the hospital. They said goodbye. Kate went to work. The rest of the day was spent in gloomy thoughts. Work wasn't going well. Her boss delicately sent her home. On Saturday at noon, Kate flinched at the phone ringing. The sound was sharp, alarming. Anxiety seized her. Hello, she answered anxiously. Catherine Ann, good afternoon. It was Dr. Michael Peterson's voice. Can you come now? Yes, of course. Has something happened? Her anxiety grew. Yes, but don't worry. Victor has regained consciousness. We're disconnecting the equipment. My God, yes, of course, I'll be right there. Kate got ready in a flurry. There was almost no chance that Vic would wake up. The explanation, Ethan's cleansing. Laura, she shouted, get ready. Dad woke up. Really? Laura froze in the doorway. Honey, what are you standing there for? Faster! Yes, Mommy, I'm ready. I won't change. 25 minutes later, they were in the lobby. The elevator was stuck. What is going on? Kate fumed. One's not working, the other is occupied. Let's take the stairs. She grabbed Laura and pulled her up. Dr. Michael Peterson was waiting by the ward. Hello, ladies, he smiled gently. All right, no panic. Victor is conscious, but very weak. The nurse gave him a painkiller. Surprisingly, he said he feels no pain. Thank you, Kate cried. Mom, why are you crying? Laura stroked her arm. Is this good? Don't rush, the doctor interrupted. We can't explain how this happened. His condition is serious. Kate and Laura went in. At first glance, nothing had changed. But Kate saw there were almost no tubes on her husband's face. He was breathing on his own. Hearing footsteps, Victor opened his eyes, focused, and smiled weakly. The smile was eerie, but for Kate, the most precious thing. My Vic, she rushed to him. Daddy, hi, Laura sobbed. My girls, Victor whispered hoarsely. I thought I wouldn't see you. Quiet, quiet, my love, Kate cried. Don't talk yet. Your vocal cords are weak. We came right away as soon as the doctor called. Oh, how God! Mommy, calm down, Laura supported her. Drink some water. They tried to talk, but Victor was weak, and the women were in shock. Laura, I need to tell Mom something. Leave us. Dad, are you serious? Laura protested. We're family. No secrets. All right, I'm kidding. I understand you want to be alone. I'll go get some chocolate. Laura flitted out. The door closed. Victor squeezed Kate's hands tightly, painfully. Hey, Vic, be careful. Don't strain yourself. Kate, listen carefully. There's little time. His voice became firmer, the wheezing almost gone. His eyes were the most frightening thing. Darker, unnaturally bright. My Vic, everything will be all right now. No, Kate, don't deceive yourself. Things will be all right, but for you and Laura. Listen. Don't say that, Kate sobbed. Catherine, don't interrupt. Please. There's little time. I don't know how much more. I saw something. I don't know how to explain it. I was in darkness, then light, a man in a suit. He was pulling me, talking, like a dream, but not a dream. I saw Helen. She was tying me up. Chad was nearby. They were taking me apart like a construction set. And that man said, "They brought this on to harm Lara." Vic, why? What for? Because of the apartment? What about the apartment? What nonsense. Listen, I didn't tell you, but you know, our apartment is from Grandpa. Chad is nothing to him. Helen is a relative. He left everything to me. My relationship with Helen is bad, but she couldn't accept that she got nothing. And then I did something foolish. You and I weren't together yet. I wrote a will leaving it to her. Why? Kate protested. It's a long story. I didn't think I'd have a family. I love my sister, you know. Even though she's difficult, we agreed as a joke to calm her down. I wrote, "In case of my death, the apartment goes to her." 14 years ago. Then she got married, it was forgotten. I didn't remember it myself, especially after you came along, but then something happened. I don't know what with Helen, how she decided to get rid of me. I tried to support her. What else did she need? It's hard to believe that for a few square feet, she'd destroy her own brother. But it's as if someone put the idea in her head, and Chad fell under her influence. He's had abilities since childhood. Mom took him to a witch. Dad and I didn't believe it, but Helen was interested. Once I caught them with dolls. Dad burned them, got scared, forbade the mumbo-jumbo. He was a believer. It was forgotten. And now Helen decided to bring Chad out of the shadows. I don't know what she did, how she persuaded him. They started plotting. There's no other explanation. I understand. It was him wandering around cemeteries. I don't know what he was doing. And then, I saw my sister's face. She looked... I woke up. I know I don't have long. I have to stop them. That's not all. I feel she'll turn on you and Lara too, to eliminate rivals. The notary will be here soon. I'll transfer the apartment to you. She has the will. She'll kick you out. I have to protect you. That man from the vision, he can help, but I don't know where to find him. I know, Kate said quietly. What? How? Where from? Victor was surprised. Vic, I'm the one who contacted him. Madness, I know. Mom insisted. I was desperate. His name is Ethan. He's a seer, a physicist, funny. I believed him. He described your sister, told me. You know, I don't believe in magic. I'm a pragmatist. But Ethan convinced me. And the fact that you woke up is his doing. He did a cleansing. He told me right away, there's nothing to hope for, but... Yes, my girl, I can't be saved. You and Lara need to take care of yourselves. Meet with Ethan. He'll tell you what to do. My Vic, I love you so much, Kate cried. I don't want you to go. Sweetheart, I'll always be with you. Now I know that death isn't the end. There are things we don't know about, but I'll stay close. My soul, not my body. It doesn't matter. Victor winced. Dear, are you in pain? Kate was frightened. I'm okay, he rasped. Call the doctor. Kate rushed out. Dr. Michael Peterson, seeing her, hurried into the ward. Kate sat with Lara on the small sofa. Soon the notary arrived. He was with Victor for a long time. When he came out, Kate was allowed to enter. Victor lay motionless. A nurse was setting up an IV. Seeing Kate and Lara, he smiled weakly. He didn't say anything more. A nasty cold rain was drizzling. Kate, swallowing tears, watched as clumps of wet earth fell dully onto the coffin lid. She approached last. Holding Lara tightly, she scooped up earth with her half-paralyzed fingers and threw it down. Lara repeated her action. Kate remembered the rest vaguely. How they buried him, how they were led away, how they were put into a taxi. She was grateful to the driver. Sweetheart, Alice said, you two go home. I'll handle things here. There aren't many people. I'll come later. It's better if you sleep. You need to endure this. Take some sedative. Take the pills and go to Betty Bye. Mom, why weren't Helen and Chad here? Are they out of town? Did something happen? Although, What could happen here when their brother died? I don't know, Kate shuddered. She tried calling, they didn't answer. She went to Helen's place. They didn't open. Chad is nowhere to be found. Where did they disappear to? Do they know? I can't reach them. I thought the hospital would inform them. I can't figure it out. They're the closest relatives. Auntie came even though we hadn't seen each other in 5 years, and these two aren't here. I don't know, Mom. That's not right. And anyway, we need to talk about Helen and Chad. I have some unpleasant information. From Ethan. From Ethan? Alice's eyes lit up. You went to see him? Not just went. I'll tell you later. Here's the taxi. Lara looks terrible. All right, sweetheart, rest. Don't forget the pills. I'll come in the evening. I have keys. Okay, Mommy. Kate hugged her mother. Alice was bustling in the kitchen when Kate woke up. Sedative, sleeping pills. She had slept restlessly. She dreamed of Victor, the funeral, the hospital commotion, Vic's grandfather, whom she hadn't seen but knew it was him. Did you get any sleep? Alice asked, concerned. You and Lara need to go somewhere while she's on vacation. A change of scenery will help you get through the grief. You know, while Vic was in a coma, we accepted it. But when he woke up, hope appeared. Now I understand. Those half an hour. His last push to talk. I'm glad we made it. Otherwise, we'd be blaming ourselves. Mom, I want to tell you everything. Kate spoke for a long time about the psychic, what he said, how he appeared to Victor, how he woke up. See, I told you. You should have gone. Reliable people recommended him, they wouldn't lie. Ethan helped them. It's a pity it didn't happen earlier. For Vic. But what's done is done. Relatives, a nightmare. How could they? And no way to punish them. Ethan said karma will catch up. God will punish them, or energy. As much evil as they did, that much will return. But by law. Mom, what law? They'll be ridiculed. There's no proof. That's true. You know what I'm afraid of? Vic said Helen won't stop. She'll want to harm us. I want to ask Ethan how to protect ourselves. Do you think she'll dare? With Victor, it was greed. The apartment. You said he managed to transfer it to you, annul the old will. She must understand in case of your death, she'll get nothing. She's not a relative, it won't pass by inheritance. And does she know she'll get nothing? Hardly. Vic didn't have time to tell her. She probably doesn't know about his death. But I think she knows everything. Chad must understand that the rituals worked, although I don't know how it works. But even if she knows and is waiting, what do you have to do with it? Her plan was to kick you out, and it's unknown if I understood correctly. I don't know, Kate shrugged. I can't ask her, can I? I'll try through Ethan. The next day, Kate invited Ethan over. Lara opened the door. Hello, she looked at him closely. I imagined you differently. An ordinary person. Come in, Mom is waiting. Hello, Valerie. I imagined you differently too. An 11-year-old girl. Bows, dolls. You're behind the times, Lara smiled. When was that? At 11, a personality is formed. I write programs, develop applications, someone wants to buy one. Wow, Ethan whistled. A serious young lady. You're far from that. Mathematics isn't magic, but I don't believe it, even if you convinced Mom. It's a coincidence that Dad woke up. You're wrong to think, Valerie, that I don't know about mathematics. Mom didn't tell you, but I worked as a lead engineer at a nuclear power plant. Physics and mathematics are sisters. No way, Lara was surprised. How did a physicist go into pseudoscience? What is not proven is not false. I'm not a wizard, not a sorcerer. I connect with the info field. How is that not physics? Predictions are mathematics, probabilities. Nothing supernatural. To believe or not is your business. Now I need to talk to your mother. You know, I'll grant that you're not lying. You don't ask for money, it's strange. Nowadays, even spitting is not free. Money isn't the main thing, Valerie. It's cliché, but it's true. The gift isn't for profit. I studied at university for this. What is given from above? I have no right to demand compensation. Interesting, Lara mused. I won't keep you. Go to Mom, she's in the kitchen. Ethan went through. Kate was setting the table. Hello, you've gone to a lot of trouble. Help yourselves. Sit down. Let's have a snack, then talk. You can start telling me if it's not difficult. I don't like eating in silence and small talk. It's awkward. Yes, of course, Kate smiled. The situation is like this. Before he died, Vic said he talked to you there, in the astral plane. Not the astral plane, don't confuse it, Ethan corrected, in your reality. There he saw that Helen intends to harm Lara and me somehow. Do you know about the will? Vic managed to sign over the apartment that Helen is claiming. That very apartment? Ethan nodded. Yes, from Grandpa. He foolishly put it in his sister's name to smooth things over. Now it's annulled. I'm afraid Helen will seek revenge, try to get rid of us to become the sole heir. Yes, she's capable of anything. You were right to tell me. I can't completely neutralize it without personal contact, and it's not just her. Chad needs to be stopped, and they've disappeared, weren't at the funeral. Yes, I have a premonition they're plotting something. I know I'm programming myself, but the feeling of danger doesn't leave me. Kate, I can put a protection on you, like a shield, against their attacks, a cocoon of dense energy. You won't feel it. The only thing is, when I'm setting it up, you need to clear your mind to connect to the points, to anchor it. There's no problem with you. But Lara, she's skeptical. It will interfere. Talk to your daughter. I can't build it without her consent. Yes, of course. When? Anytime now. I'll call Lara. We'll explain together. It's easier that way. You see, I told her. She reacted. She barely believes it. We'll try to convince her, Ethan smiled. Lara, Kate called. Come here. What is it? A concerned face appeared in the doorway. Lara dear, sit down. We need to discuss something, Kate said gently. I'm listening. Lara sat down, crossing her arms. Honey, I know what I'm about to say will cause indignation, but as a sign of respect, love for me, and in memory of Dad, please take it seriously. Okay, I'll try, Lara grimaced. The situation with Dad is the work of Aunt Helen. Magical influence. It caused the illness. The reason is money, our apartment. Dad made a will leaving it to her, so she decided on a radical solution. She doesn't know he rewrote it to us. But Dad warned us. Now we are in danger. She won't stop. She might seek revenge. Seriously, Lara was horrified. I always couldn't stand her, that nasty aunt, and Dad helped her. I knew she was doing something. Lara burst into tears. Kate hadn't expected it. Mom, she sobbed, so it's true? Auntie is a witch? No, dear, not a witch, but Uncle Chad has abilities and she took advantage. Uncle Chad? Impossible. He loved Dad. He's good. Valerie, Ethan intervened, there are people like that. Good people who don't wish harm, but they are susceptible to influence. Your uncle is skillfully manipulated, used for evil. He's like under hypnosis. It's pointless to blame him, but I would be wary of your aunt. Does she want to get rid of us too? Lara recoiled in horror. It's hard to say. I'm not all-powerful, I can't see at a distance. To understand her plan, I need personal contact. I don't want her to come here. She won't, her mother reassured her. Helen and Chad have disappeared. They weren't at the funeral. Maybe they punished themselves? Lara, don't say that, Kate said sternly. Wishing evil brings it upon yourself. Their fate will catch up with them. But for now, we need to make sure they can't harm you. But is that possible? Lara became serious. Look what happened to Dad. Auntie was smiling, knowing he was dying because of her. I can protect you, Ethan said. I'll put up a shield. Helen won't break through, but you must believe with all your heart, accept it. Otherwise, it won't work. Valerie, you're into programming. What I do with energy is also programming. I'm rewriting the factory settings. The protection is an antivirus. It will catch your aunt's attacks, erase them, quarantine them, send them back. When it's all over, I'll remove it. Do you understand? Uh-huh, Lara nodded. Then let's start now, otherwise we'll lose time. Who knows, maybe Helen has already started. For 2 hours, Ethan performed his manipulations. Kate and Lara were required to sit, immersed in a meditative state. When he finished, he woke them up. Well, girls, I'm finished. Now you don't need to be afraid. As soon as Helen shows up, let me know. Thank you, Kate smiled. I believe you. I hope it helps. Maybe I should pay you after all. Catherine, you've paid in full. I haven't had a lunch like that in years. Ethan smiled and headed for the exit. After he left, mother and daughter talked for a long time, discussing everything. A little less than a month passed. Kate was getting used to the idea that Victor was gone. She remembered his words, that he would always be near. It was getting easier. Lara was also recovering. 2 weeks until school. She was getting ready, going shopping with her grandmother, meeting friends. That day, Lara returned from her grandmother's in high spirits. She was showing off a new tracksuit. She tried it on in front of the mirror, twirling. Suddenly, she turned pale, clutching her temples. Lara, what's wrong? Kate became worried. My head is spinning, she answered, holding her temples. It's stuffy, hot days, and you're in a tracksuit. I'll pour some lemonade, her mother suggested. Take off that beauty, come to the kitchen. We'll sit on the balcony, the weather is wonderful. Kate went. She got out glasses, a pitcher of lemonade. She threw in ice, poured, and carried it to the table. She sat in an armchair, relaxed. Summer will end, she thought. It's been a difficult one. How will we manage without Victor? Lara is growing up. My salary won't be enough. Applications? They pay, they attract teenagers. A hobby. I need to change jobs. I won't sell the apartment. It's all Vic's, betraying his memory. Mom won't let us be ruined. In my situation, a promotion? Mr. Smith is retiring. He was preparing me. Can I handle it? I won't know until I try. Where is Lara? The lemonade will get warm. Lara, Kate called. Where are you? The ice has melted. Her daughter didn't answer. A chill ran down her spine. She came out of the balcony, remembering how pale Lara had looked. Lara was lying by the mirror. She hadn't taken off the tracksuit. Kate rushed over, sharply pulled her hand away. She was burning hot, unconscious. My God, Lara, wake up! She slapped her cheeks. Wheezing sounds. She called an ambulance, ran for a cold compress. The cold brought her to. She slightly opened her eyes, mumbled. Kate carried her to the bed, took off the jacket. Lara was red, sweating profusely. The ambulance team arrived quickly. An injection. She woke up. Mom, she mumbled. Everything's fine. My dear, Kate stroked her. How scared I was. Overheated, the doctor frowned. To the hospital? No, Lara bleated. Just not the hospital. Kate understood. She looked at the doctor. You can refuse. I'll prescribe medications. If the temperature goes higher, call immediately. All right. Her temperature rose, but not above the threshold. Kate didn't call. Lara lay, having taken the pills. Her mother changed the compresses. Air conditioner. We were sitting there yesterday. I have a cold and you're down. It'll pass. I need to sleep. My head hurts, she said quietly, like when I had the flu, in winter. Not the flu, you caught a chill. The infection is coming out, the medicine will help. The doorbell rang. Who is it so late? Kate was surprised. 9 in the evening. Maybe Grandma? Lara asked questioningly. She shouldn't be, she has keys. She wouldn't ring. Lie down, I'll check. She went out, looked through the peephole. She flinched. Helen and Chad. She hesitated, took a deep breath, opened the door. Catherine, what's wrong? We thought no one was home. Helen threw up her hands. Where were you? Kate pounced. Do you know Vic is gone? I've been looking for you for a month. Nobody knows. Your phones are off. Kate, I'll explain. Helen pushed past her shoulder and entered. Chad shuffled in behind her, silent, like her shadow. Kate felt uneasy. She didn't want to let them in, but she couldn't resist. Helen went into the living room as if she owned the place, plopping down onto the sofa with a sigh. Chad stood next to her, like a slave, eyes downcast. "I'll be right back," Kate's eyes flashed. "Laura isn't well." It seemed to her that Helen snorted. Kate quickly went into the bedroom. "Laura, don't get up. Vic's sister and brother are here," she whispered. "I'll call Ethan. I'm afraid to be alone, but even more for you. Lock yourself in from the inside. She mustn't see you like this, she might take advantage." Kate typed a message to Ethan. She explained. He replied, "Don't let them go, he's coming." Kate replied, then went out. "And Laura won't come out to say hello? We haven't seen her in ages," Helen said ominously. "Laura isn't feeling well another time," Kate said sharply. "You explain what's going on? Where did you disappear to?" "We didn't disappear," Helen laughed. "We were home. Right, Chad?" Chad nodded silently. Kate was taken aback. "What do you mean, home? Why didn't you answer? You didn't come to the funeral? Vic died, your own brother, and you were home?" "It's our business whether we come or not, and your business is to pack your things now and leave this apartment with your sick daughter." There it is, Kate thought. It's starting. I hope Ethan gets here soon. I'm scared. "What do you mean?" Kate pretended. "Why should I leave my apartment?" "Because of this." Helen held out a folder. Documents. Kate scanned them quickly, then calmly placed them on the table. "Firstly," she began coolly, feeling triumphant, "as far as I know, a will comes into effect 6 months after death. You have no right to live here until you officially become the owner." "You're reacting strangely," Helen tensed. "Aren't you surprised that I brought the will? That you're losing your home? All right, by law you're right. I'll wait. Although... But since it's firstly, there will be a secondly," Kate continued coolly, without reacting, her words clipped. "Secondly, this paper has been invalid for over a month. Before waving it around, you should have bothered to find out who the owner is." "What are you talking about?" Helen jumped up. "Why is it invalid? Victor was unconscious for the last few months. I checked in June." "Thirdly," Kate cut her off, "Victor regained consciousness. If you had been interested, you would have known. During that time, a notary visited him. The will has been rewritten. You have no rights. Not now, not in 5 months." Kate stood up, pointing to the door. "Oh yes, fourthly," she smirked. "I know everything. My husband's death is your doing. I can't prove it, but I don't need to. Karma will catch up with you. Degenerates. Killing your own brother for these walls." "Oh, so that's how it is," Helen bristled. "So that's it. You were right, Chad. This woman suspected something. It's a good thing we covered our bases." "What are you talking about?" Kate turned pale. "My condition. We're going to the notary now. You sign a deed of gift." "Yeah, right," Kate sneered. "Well, suit yourself," Helen rolled her eyes. "Chad, go." The man pulled out a small bag. He reached inside. Almost immediately, loud sounds came from Laura's room. "I'm coming," Kate flinched. "Don't rush." Helen grabbed her. "You won't help her. If you resist, Laura will burn up. You know what we're capable of? My niece is in Chad's hands. Get ready to the notary. Refusal, power of attorney, whatever. You'll give up the apartment. Otherwise, you'll lose your daughter." "Nobody is losing anyone," Ethan's voice. "And who are you?" Helen asked angrily. "The one who will make you pay for Dad's death." Laura, looking perfectly healthy, appeared from behind Ethan's back. "What's happening? Chad, why isn't it working?" Helen shrieked. Chad reached into the bag again. Laura let out a prolonged sound. Kate flinched. She heard her daughter laugh. "Nothing will work for you," Laura shouted at her aunt. "You messed with the wrong people. Mom, kick them out. They can't do anything to us anymore." But Kate was confused. "Leave the apartment or I'm calling the police. You'll explain to them where you got the remains, Ethan said sternly. What? What remains? Kate asked, not understanding. The ones accumulated from cemeteries. Bear in mind, you could face charges for that. So for now, I'm asking nicely, leave. You'll regret this, Helen hissed, heading for the exit. Chad obediently shuffled after her. You won't have time, Ethan laughed. Retribution will catch up sooner. You think you're shaping fates? I saw how it ends. Go. You'll find out everything yourselves soon. When the guests left and the door was locked, Kate demanded an explanation. I arrived almost immediately. Don't ask how, you wouldn't believe me. Ethan smiled, patting Lara. You were lucky you didn't lock the door. I came in, heard the noise from your room. Immediately felt their energy, directed at Lara. The girls still didn't fully believe us. They managed to partially penetrate my shield. It's a good thing you called, otherwise, disaster would have been unavoidable. But I removed everything. They will never bother you again. But how can I be sure of that? Kate asked. Helen looked very angry, and she'll definitely find a way to get what she wants. She won't have time. Why not? Kate frowned. You'll find out everything yourselves from the news tomorrow. Ethan smiled mysteriously. And now, I must ask you to excuse me. I need to sleep. I'm going home. I need to recover after such intense work. It was a pleasure meeting you, even under these circumstances. Goodbye. Ethan stood up and left the apartment.